Vladimirovich Putin.
An old Kremlin joke about Vladimir Putin says that the Russian president has only 3 trusted advisors: Ivan the Terrible, Peter the Great, and Catherine the Great. I was reminded of the modern Tsar's historically animated ambition by a recent report in the news pages of the journal titled "Make Money, Not War: Trump's Real Plan for Peace in Ukraine."
We'll continue discussions with the American side, clearly communicating Russia's position.
The story documents how Kirill Dmitriev, the head of Russia's sovereign wealth fund and a close Putin aide, and Steve Witkoff, the president's ambassador plenipotentiary to just about everywhere, have drawn up a list of potential commercial opportunities for the US and Russia if Washington would just sign off on Mr. Putin's unlawful occupation of a neighboring country, Ukraine. Like Mr. Trump, you see, Mr. Dmitriev is a businessman.
He's sort of you may say, a different generation person who understands the American society, American style of business better, and clearly he was able to make the case that he understands Trump.
One can hazard a well-informed guess about how our president may have responded to that proposition.
There's a good chance we can make a deal.
But there's a problem.
So pleased to see you.
It's not just that we as Americans should feel revulsion at the idea that some free nation's sovereignty can be violently extinguished as long as we receive a cut of the proceeds. It's that for Ukraine, Europe, the US, and the Russian leader too, making money and making war are not, and never have been, mutually exclusive activities.
What is crucial to understand, Dmitriev would never be the one negotiating the final document. He is the one who helps get the discussion going, but the final document would be negotiated by Lavrov, Ushakov, based on what Putin tells them, and Putin would be the one signing them.
The prospects on offer seem enticing. Rare earth mining and energy projects for US investors in Russia's Arctic. Joint missions to Mars between Elon Musk's SpaceX and the Russian space industry. Appropriation of the $300 billion in Russian assets frozen by European central banks after the 2022 invasion to be used for collaborative investment in Russia and Ukraine. The offer is so appealing, you wonder whether the American envoy and his colleagues were given the same sort of Potemkin village spectacle to which Tucker Carlson was treated on his visit to Moscow last year. You'll recall the one where he expressed wonderment, for example, at those coin deposit and return system in Russian supermarket carts.
So I guess you put in 10 rubles here and you get it back when you put the cart back.
A technology that's been in almost every European store I've been in since about 1990. But that's not all. Mr. Witkoff seems to believe that the peace dividend on offer can benefit Ukraine too. Indeed, following roughly 4 hours of talks between US and Ukrainian officials on November 30th, Secretary of State Marco Rubio sounded upbeat.
As we've made progress, I think there is a shared vision here that this is not just about ending the war, which is very important. It is about securing Ukraine's future, a future that we hope will be more prosperous than it's ever been.
It's a beguiling idea. Peace through commerce. Perhaps Mr. Witkoff has been reading Norman Angel's famous The Great Illusion, a book published in 1909, whose central argument was that profitable economic engagement between industrialized countries made war virtually unimaginable, because it was the real guarantor of the good behavior of one state to another. 5 years after Angel's book was published, the heir to the Austro-Hungarian throne was murdered in a Sarajevo street. For the next 4 years, the richest and most economically integrated countries in the history of the world staged the bloodiest warfare humans had ever produced. But you don't even have to be mindful of history to be skeptical about big claims of peaceful and prosperous coexistence with Mr. Putin's Russia. Over his quarter-century in power, the Russian president has demonstrated that for him personally, and for his favoured courtiers, enrichment through cross-border economic activity is perfectly consistent with, indeed a helpful facilitator of, violent campaigns to extend Russia's borders.
The proposed referendum on the future of Crimea would violate the Ukrainian constitution and violate international law. Any discussion about the future of Ukraine must include the legitimate government of Ukraine. In 2014, we are well beyond the days when borders can be redrawn over the heads of democratic leaders.
The Soviet Union played the capitalist game better than we did during the Cold War, showering riches on men like Robert Hanssen in exchange for secrets the Russians hoped would bring about the destruction of our political system. In the heady days after the collapse of the Soviet Union, the oligarchs, many of whom now surround Mr. Putin, welcomed well-meaning Western academics, businessmen and others to help them plunder their resources and pave the way for the kleptocracy that now holds up his global ambitions.
Together we defend our love for the motherland and the unity of our historical destiny. We fight and win.
In the end, kleptocrats are going to do what kleptocrats always do. For Americans, making money with Russia in the hope of making peace would be a time-tested mistake. But helping to make money for Russia while it pursues its aims of undermining Western freedom and American leadership would be a crime.